It is, or nearly is, the end of the year, so like everyone else, I have to talk about my favourite games from 2019. I finished very few games that I didn't review, so it's not really stiff competition. This list just happens to be entirely Switch games because of that. My poor PS4. First up, Link's Awakening. Growing up on 3D Zelda, I never really played the 2D ones, except for a bit of Triforce Heroes. This remake of Link's Awakening is my first proper 2D Zelda, and I loved it. I have a video review you can watch. While the shortness and some performance issues prevented it from getting a high score, I do think it's one of the best Switch releases this year, and I did have fun with it. I kind of regret rushing through it for the sake of making a review, since not that many people clicked on it anyway, comparatively. And next up we have Fire Emblem Three Houses, as I tried some Fire Emblem games before, but only really liked Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia. That was because it didn't have the weapon triangle and came with many different systems. So originally I wasn't excited for this game, until I learned that it also didn't have the weapon triangle, and I promptly picked it up the day after release and couldn't put it down, to the dismay of my Dragon Quest Builders 2 progress, as I was in Crumbledon, and I am still in Crumbledon. This is not the prettiest looking game, and the new gameplay aspect can get tiresome, but it's definitely one of the best values for money if you complete all the story routes. I've only done the Blue Lions. I started a Golden Deer playthrough, but then I had a review code, another review code, and new games, and you know. Much of the Season Passes DLC has released, including a new difficulty and some really cute outfits. I have an unnecessarily lengthy video review, which you can find on my channel. One game I haven't made a review yet because I didn't record any gameplay footage while I was playing it, is AI The Somnium Files, although I am planning to. It's a visual novel with plenty of references, such as a Pop Team epic joke and a comedic tone despite some of the horrors depicted. Basically, Detective Date has an AI in his eyeball named Aiba, and they make a great duo. Other than some point-and-click detective work, you also go into the Somnium. This is when you break into people's dreams in a 3D puzzle section to find clues about crimes. I've played quite a few visual novels this year, most of which were enjoyable, but all the jokes and extra gameplay made it my favourite. Since release, they made a demo so you can get a good feel of the gameplay. In the written version of this, I didn't put the Alliance Alive HD Remastered on the top picks, but honestly, how could I not put a game with a playable penguin in the top? The recruiting system was something I didn't really care for, although the game's quite easy and not very long for a JRPG, so you don't have to do it too much. The game I actually rated highest this year was Lethal League Blaze, being the only game so far I've given a 9. Meaning that technically it would be my game of the year. Unfortunately, the one thing I didn't like about the game, which was no regional matchmaking, means I can only play this offline. However, when I do, it is really fun. I also have a nice long list of honourable mentions, which are going at the end of the video because I don't have a particular number one pick. First, I have to give Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch a mention. I played the original PS4 version last year. While I bought this, I found that I wasn't really ready to retread the adventure even with the new content. If you haven't picked up this game, I would definitely recommend the Switch version. Even with the lower graphical quality, it is the better choice. On the eShop there is a demo so you can try out the game. That alone could take you 4 to 10 hours to beat, and I do have a video on the demo. There are quite a few very good games that might have made the list if I had finished them, those being Dragon Quest Builders 2, Demon X Machina, Astral Chain, and Mistover. Dragon Quest Builders 2 has a newer demo that goes over Fairyfield, so you get a much better idea of the game. I do have a video on the first demo. I also have videos on both the Demon X Machina demos, as well as both of Mistover's demos. We did get a review code for that, but that wasn't until 2 days after launch and I'd already bought it. So if you go on ladiesgamers.com, you can find a review for Mistover by Beth. In my written post, I said hopefully I could take advantage of January's small release list to get back onto them, but I already have review codes to do. I also got my hands on a few co-op games which were especially fun to review, being Castle Crashers Remastered, River City Girls, and Luigi's Mansion 3. Even going through this, there are a few games that weren't top picks, but I still really enjoyed, even if they weren't reviewed high. I didn't initially like Dusk Diver because of the barriers, but that eventually became a non-issue, and while it's still not a great game, I really did have fun with it. And a lot of the other visual novels I played this year I really liked, it's just that AI The Somnium Files is the best one of them. That's all on my picks from 2019. Please tell me about yours, so I can tell you that you're wrong. Depending on if this video gets released before or after certain others I'm making, my next video will be what games are supposed to be releasing in 2020 that I'm looking forward to most. Bye!